everybody. I know, late and gay. Sorry about that. I had everything set up today. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be on time for this stream. How about that? And of course, I was not. So I was trying to do something last freaking minute. And yeah, not good. Believe me, not good. How y'all doing today? It's a great day in America, everybody. Is it not? I want to see how I have a new graphic here. I want to see if it works out. Kinda. All right. Anyway, better than nothing, I guess. How y'all doing? It is a good day for news, I suppose. For the most part, there's some stuff. At first, like earlier in the week, I was like, there ain't gonna be nothing to talk about, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, a bunch of stuff came in. TV, movies, video games, all that stuff we're going to be talking about today. I have a full slate. I did want to start with, I am going to tempt fate here and play a little bit of just a wee bit of this trailer. Everybody's talking about this because I just wanted to quickly give my opinions on the discourse going on here with this. All right, so it's How to Train Your Dragon, the new one, the live action, whatever. There's not going to be any sound, so I'm just going to look a little bit. All right, I'm going to have to pause it every couple of seconds just so you guys know. But yeah, so all right, so he looks pretty good. Hiccup, they showed him earlier, looks pretty good. If anybody's a How to Train Your Dragon fan, I definitely am. There are a couple of there are a couple of characters that specifically got crapped on, and we'll get to them when they show them. There's Hiccup. Hiccup looks pretty good. I mean, accurate as far as like if you want somebody to look like the character. Nobody sounds like the guy who voiced it. Was it Jay Baruchel or whatever that voiced him in the cartoon? Yeah, so and this is going along with Universal is opening that Epic Universe new park that's going to have Berg, which is the land from How to Train Your Dragon. They've got mechanical dragons flying overhead. I don't know how they're doing that, but I saw a video of that before. So far, so good. Like as far as like the how it looks, everything looks just like that's pretty awesome. If you're gonna do like computer animated graphics, a lot better than what I've been seeing out of Disney lately. It looks better than, for all the hundreds of millions of dollars they're pumping into that Snow White remake, which we'll talk about later. The dwarves look nightmarish and cartoonish. These look like if you're going to have real dragons, they look like this. And there's the Vikings, is that a black Viking right there? It's kind of funny. The famous black Vikings, but those two main characters are pulled right out of they look like they're pulled right out of the original movies. I can't remember the dad's name, but there's Hiccup and his dad, and the dragons look awesome. And then here's the part where Hiccup finally sees Toothless, and he's gonna end him there. I actually have a cat that we we refer to her every once in a while as Toothless because she's a little black kitty. She has a head and her eyes shaped just like Toothless, so it's cute. I always had a connection with that. But here we go. There's Toothless. The scales look good. I think as far as if you're gonna do a computer animated thing of dragons, pretty darn good, I think. It looks pretty realistic to me. I mean, as realistic as you can make a cartoon dragon, but here we go. And then approach. See, this is my problem with it is if you're going to do a remake, like a live action remake, add something to it, I guess. Like a lot of people dogged on the live action Beauty and the Beast, but at least they tried to add some stuff to it, add some story. I guess I didn't watch it, but my wife did the Little Mermaid remake. She's like, "Oh, they added some stuff to it." I mean, they had to drag it out. It was like 2 hours long out of a 1-hour movie, but this is like shot for shot the the cartoon. Why is it needed? Is my thing. Why do we need this? I mean, cool, I guess, but yeah, and I'm glad these look like they do in the in the cartoon movie, obviously, but at this point, like I said, I'm just like, why? Are they going to add anything new, or is it going to be the same old? Like from the cartoon? Because at that point, it's like just go watch the cartoon, man. I'm not one that hates on live action remakes. I actually like some of the live action remakes. I thought the live action Cinderella, that was another one. The live action Cinderella added more to it that the cartoon didn't touch on, like however many bazillion years ago. Uh, but this one, I mean, obviously I'm gonna have to watch it to know for sure, but okay, and that's it. And then they're gonna go into the logo, How to Train Your Dragon, blah blah blah. Cool. So the big controversy is obviously they race swapped a couple of characters. So they race swapped Astrid, and I just thought about this last night. The girl playing Astrid, woman, I don't know how old she is. I think she's young girl. Let's see. How to Train Your Dragon 2025. Here we go. I'm gonna look at the cast list. Nico Parker plays Astrid Hofferson. She's the only one getting dogged on, but there are a couple of race swapped characters in here that I think are just like born December 9th, 2024. Okay, so she's 20. She's an adult. Either way, doesn't matter. They race swapped Astrid. I think Nico's at least half black, I think, whatever. And then Fish Legs, they race swapped with Julian Dennison, who I think, I don't want to get this wrong because people will get mad. New Zealand. Yeah, okay. He's a New Zealand actor, and he's uh, not white, I'll say. So people are big mad. There's a streamer, Maddie Mouse or something like that, that went very viral for a rant about it. She was big mad. I'm not saying she's wrong about any of her points. Like, and black people have complained about this too, where obviously the one guy playing Fish Legs. So let me pull this up. That was Jonah Hill's character in the original or in the cartoon, whatever. This is what he looked like here. Fish Legs. The big dude with the blonde hair. Look like a fat Viking. There you go. The other kid, not so much. Well, he's an adult, but regardless, they're not wrong about the race swap. And the thing is, other cultures, you've got like two sides of it. You got the ones that are like, "Why does it matter to you?" Huh? After they already take what they want, then they're like, "Why do you care?" Um, but if their characters were race swapped in entertainment, then they'd have a problem with it, and they'd have a big fight about it. But the other problem is like, or the other group of people are the ones that when they race swap, they're like, why are we always getting sloppy seconds from white characters or you name it? Usually it's redhead characters being swapped out. Not this time, but there's another. If you want to talk about race swapping, I did a short video. I guess I don't think they've made it official yet, but they've announced that they're at least highly considering Sophie Turner as the next Laura Croft in that god awful. It's going to be a god awful show on Amazon Prime Video with I think Phoebe Waller-Bridge is writing it. Like, good God, who cares? But it's like, she's white, Laura's white, but man, that's awful casting. It's not a skin color thing. She's not Laura Croft. If you're gonna have like, why is it so hard to cast Laura Croft? I thought, is if you're going with the new Laura Croft, that Vikander, I can't think of her name now. Vikander, Alicia Vikander. Yeah, I think she was good for the new movie. I didn't like the new movie. I thought it was meh. Angelina Jolie, I thought was perfect casting back when they had her, but Sophie Turner, nobody's gonna look at her and think, yeah, uh, that that's what I'm talking about when I say Laura freaking Croft. I don't get it. Um, but yeah, so it's not just a skin color thing, but it does get a little annoying because it only goes one way. Well, we gotta have more diversity among the Vikings who yeah, and they always try to point to, well, there there were black Vikings and whatever. I mean, sure, they were taken as slaves or they traveled a long way and kinda integrated with culture, and it was like 1 in a million, but, they existed. Who cares, man? You know what Astrid looks like. We all know what Astrid looks like. We all know what Fish Legs looks like. Why do you for most of these characters and the dragons, you're like, man, we want to make it look exactly like the cartoon came to life. But these two characters here, not so much because we gotta be diverse. Whatever. Is it for award recognition? Is that it? I really don't know. My buddy just texted me, said I want Wicked to flop so bad. I do too, but it won't. I think it fully deserves to. It should, but women be loving their musicals, and Ariana Grande, although the worm has turned a little bit on Ariana Grande because she's a husband stealer, boyfriend stealer. I mean, she literally makes songs about it. Um, but Wicked will not flop. It's just there's no chance that Wicked is going to flop, unfortunately. That's gonna be one of them. I don't know if it's gonna be quite as big as, like, say, Barbie or whatever. They're trying to make it a thing, like, where they had Barbenheimer. Now they're trying to make, they're calling it Glicked because it's like Gladiator 2 and Wicked, which we'll talk about all that coming up. But yeah, it's not gonna flop. It's not. I don't think it's gonna be a "We're so back" for the theaters kind of moment. Like, um, they keep trying to recreate the Oppenheimer sensation, and I just don't think so. It's disingenuous. But let's get into our actual slate of stories here. I just wanted to touch on that because it was such a hot topic. Um, this one I thought was interesting because I'm always talking about Disney taking a big dump. And this one is a positive story here. It's Walt Disney World's Lightning Lane Premiere Pass sold out for the first time. Walt Disney World's massive, expansive Lightning Lane Premiere Pass has sold out for the first time ever going into Thanksgiving week. The costly line skipping service sold out for November 25th, the Monday before Thanksgiving, for both Magic Kingdom and Disney's Hollywood Studios theme parks, which are my two favorite. I mean, I love Epcot as well, but if I had to pick just two, it would be Magic Kingdom first and foremost, because that's the main park, and then Hollywood Studios is big fun. Anyway, uh, it allows guests to enter the Lightning Lane queue for each attraction in the park one time. Currently, only guests staying at the Disney's Deluxe Resorts or Disney Deluxe Villa Resort Hotel can purchase Lightning Lane Premier Pass. Yeah, so mucho dinero. You're in the you're not in the 1%, but I'd say you're like in the top 5%, some whereabouts. That means a family of four attending the Magic Kingdom on November 25th. The Premier Pass will pay $1,516 for Lightning Lane access alone. This is on top of admission price on that date. Comes to $189 per person for a one-day ticket. That brings the total cost of the single day up to $2,272. My God. What did I say? Top 5%. Or you've been saving for a long time and you've been pinching pennies and cutting costs, and this is your big to do, your big hoorah, taking the family to Disney and getting a Lightning Lane. Of course, these guests would also be staying at a Disney Deluxe Resort, a stay at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa for one night on November 25th costs another $1,500. That brings the total for our hypothetical family of four to $3,772 for one day in the Magic Kingdom Park. Many question whether Lightning Lane Premier Pass has value given Disney's diminishing crowds as of late. Look at this at the Magic Kingdom today, and I got to ask, where are the lines? LOL. Peter Pan's flight posted 40 minutes. We waited 10 minutes. Did all of Tomorrowland in less than an hour. Am I missing something? Yeah, that's sad. I really wanted to go this year for the Christmas stuff. My wife wants to check out the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween as well, but I think the Christmas one would be better value and it looks cooler. But that's just me. While holiday weeks typically see a surge in attendance, Disney saw record low crowds and wait times this summer for the 4th of July, and that's typically one of Disney's busiest weeks of the year. In Magic Kingdom, Peter Pan's flight, an attraction that often sees wait times of in excess of 70 minutes. I did that actually. Here's a little note to everybody. I don't know if they still do it like this, but when I went in 2016 for my honeymoon, we saw the light parade, which was the or no, we did something because we thought we missed the light parade, and then they brought the light parade around again, which was awesome. And then the park was supposedly shut down, but they were still letting you onto rides. So it was well past shutdown time, and we did the Peter Pan thing. We got through in pretty quick time. I think we were in the queue for about 15 minutes, something like that. But it was awesome. But anyway, it was only 50 minutes at 3 p.m. for the July 4th holiday. Space Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad saw a sparse 40 to 45 minutes, respectively. Even Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, typically the longest standby wait in the park, was only sitting at an hour wait. Yeah, we didn't even ride that one because it was going to take forever. That, along with the Frozen ride. Disney was recently caught inflating wait times for attractions up to 300%. Many believe to increase the value of paid Lightning Lane service, most likely. And there you can see what they posted as opposed to what it actually was. 50 minutes as opposed to 25 in reality. 25 as opposed to the reality of 15. 40 as opposed to the reality of 10. 25 to 15 and 40 to 30. Yikes. That's a 1 to 3 inflation there. That's why I said like 300%. It's expected that the Lightning Lane Premier Pass will continue to sell out for at least a few more days over Thanksgiving week and again during Christmas and New Year's. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a win for them regardless, even if they had to inflate the numbers to do it, allegedly. I got to throw that in there and say, I guess it's not illegal or anything. It's kind of false advertisement, and it's a little unethical, but I don't think there's anything, I don't necessarily think it's, it's not illegal or anything like that. Tiny bit shady, but it's business, I guess. I still think it's stupid to pay for that, but that's just like my opinion, man. But another park that I think is offering more value, more bang for your buck, that we keep comparing these week in and week out. I wanna touch on this one here. Universal's Epic Universe Harry Potter Ministry of Magic attraction photos deliver on concept art's promise. Is Disney in trouble? This looks awesome. And I can believe that it's going to look exactly like that, considering I've been to the other two Harry Potter areas. They've done, this will be the third section of the Harry Potter park. So far in the, I don't know the different names. I think there's regular Universal Studios, and then there's Islands of Adventure or whatever. In the regular park, there's crap. Where do you go? The Diagon Alley. That was it. There's Diagon Alley. There's Nocturne Alley, and then there's Gringotts. And they have rides. They have shops. It's big fun. And then you get on the train, or you can You don't have to get on the train, but you have to have a park hopper pass to get on that. But you can get on the Hogwarts Express and go to the other section, and the other section is it's like right outside of Hogwarts. They've got Hogwarts. They've got like different shops and restaurants and whatever. I can't remember that area, what it's called in the what it's called in the movies and the books, but either way, there's like cool restaurants and stuff there. That and then they're building this third area of the park, which will include the Ministry of Magic, and I can't even remember what all that. I think that little shop area. Again, the names are escaping me, but that little shop area when they go to Hogwarts. And Harry wasn't allowed to go because he didn't have parents to sign a permission slip, which, I'm not even going to get into the ethics and fairness of all of that and whatever, how effed up that is. But either way, uh, he wasn't allowed to go, so he wore the invisibility cloak, and they had like the candy shops and stuff. You can go there in Hogwarts Legacy. But while in both Orlando and Anaheim, Anaheim log jams waterways on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Disney's biggest theme park competitor, just dropped the mic with a set of stunning Epic Universe Harry Potter photos that usually deliver on their lofty promises. The new attraction, Harry Potter and the Battle for the Ministry, will open along with the rest of Epic Universe on May 22nd. I may be wrong in that second area. It might just be the Ministry of Magic, but either way, fans got their first look inside the fabled Ministry of Magic from J.K. Rowling's fantasy classic novel series today when People magazine released a set of stunning images that showed the new area in all its glory. And unlike the House of Mouse down the street, Universal's final product actually met the expectations set by the initial concept art. Cool. That looks badass. That's the concept art there. Quick note to the other Orlando area theme park resort. Ex-user Wallen Ballin said while sharing the photo of the concept art for the attraction above, a photo of the real thing. Quote, "This is called delivering on your concept art. Please take notes." Yeah. And then this was another one. Delivering on concept art promises that has become something of a sore spot for Disney fans in recent years. Tiana's Bayou Adventure, featuring stunning concept art that shows a large tree atop the attraction with a boat resting atop of it. The final version delivered a bland hill with plain grass. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Disney does that, I feel like, a lot nowadays. I don't know about back in the day. But anymore, every time they release concept art, I'm like, there's 0% chance you're delivering that product. 0 freaking percent. Then there's the unfortunate saga of Communicore Hall at Epcot. This new permanent festival center was supposed to have a futuristic look with a rooftop bar. That would have been awesome. What did we get? I haven't seen it since then. However, Disney abandoned the initial stunning design in favor of a bland cafeteria we now have today. Ew. 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 Brother, ew. A new look inside of the Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry ride coming to Epic Universe in Orlando next year. Guests will board a magical lift that propels them up, down, forward, backward, sideways, and more as chaos ensues during the trial of Dolores Umbridge. That sounds fun. However, there's another ride they have in the you can go into Hogwarts Castle and it guides you through to a ride and it takes you through different scenes from the movie. And you're like strapped into this thing. You like sit in it and it straps you in and it like brings you up like you're flying or whatever. And then it swings you around to different scenes from the movies and it's jerking and swinging and it's got stuff flashing all over. My wife doesn't typically get sick on like any ride. I do occasionally, but that made us sick for a long period of time, like motion sickness to the max. Like we were throwing up. We had to sit down and like just rest for a good 30 minutes. Awful. And the ride didn't seem that bad. It wasn't like awful. It just like everything combined really adds up and it just sucked. So hopefully this is not the same kind of thing. It looks cool though. Very much like it. Dollywood beats Disney and Universal to win award for the best theme park customer service. I've always kind of wanted to go to Dollywood. I've been to. I'm actually going to Pigeon Forge again in January for a little bit. Not going to Dollywood, but this will be like the fifth time. I think fifth time maybe. I've been to Pigeon Forge. Never been to Dollywood, so that is a plan in the future though. In the images above, you can see that the main atrium of the ministry, the central statue, which featured into a duel between Voldemort and Dumbledore in the novel Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, an animatronic of Dolores Umbridge's house elf, Higgledy, lovely name, and even the ride vehicle for the new attraction. The ride vehicle appears to have plush red seats with seat belts instead of the large restraining typically seen on the other major Harry Potter rides in Universal Studios. And that's the Stardust Racers in Celestial Park at Universal Epic Universe. This one is not that Celestial Park that they're bringing is just kind of, I don't know, it seems like a cool futuristic kind of area. Almost looks like Atlantis in certain parts. It's not necessarily it's not based on a movie or anything like that, but it looks really cool. Epic Universe looks freaking awesome. I'm currently trying to plan I'm trying to plan a vacation there for next year, so we'll see how that pans out. It didn't go so well, the vacation to Disney this year, but I want to go for Epic Universe for sure. That's a big one. But apparently, you can only spend 1 day there, which kind of sucks. I want to get multi-day passes just to Epic Universe. Oh well. Let's switch gears here. Before we do, really quick, I want to point to that right there. If you'll check out my social media, I am on a ton of social media platforms, pretty much everyone you can think of. Not every single one, but pretty much. If you can't read it on X, Gab, and Instagram, I'm at Marks underscore media. On Facebook, it's Marks on Media Tube. And on True Social, Blue Sky, and Getter, I'm on all the platforms, no matter what your politics. It's at Marks on Media. So follow me wherever you want to. Also on YouTube. On YouTube, I am if you're not on YouTube checking me out now, please go subscribe to me on there. It's at Marks on Media. On Rumble, it's rumble.com/C/Marks on Media. I also have my wrestling channel on there. That's rumble.com/C/main event Marks. On YouTube, that's a whole channel on there because it was a podcast I did with a buddy of mine that passed away a year ago. I'm posting new episodes now. I posted one last week. Tomorrow will be the continuation of that episode because it was so long, where me, his little brother, and 3 of his friends, we all gathered around to share stories, talk about wrestling, talk about sports, different things involving Greg. But it's all like kind of wrestling themed, toy collecting, that kind of stuff. So check it out. It was a lot of fun to record, a lot of fun to edit and put together. So I hope you enjoyed part 1. Enjoy part 2 this week. Let's get switch some gears here before I have a couple of things to share for this particular story. Parts of upcoming Snow White trailer allegedly leak online show drastic change in narrative. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Rachel Zegler said Snow White doesn't need a prince to save her in the upcoming live-action remake of Walt Disney's classic. If a purported leaked portion of the trailer is accurate, it would seem that's the message of the movie. In fact, it appears to go so far as to be a movie about Snow White rescuing the prince instead. How charming, eh? Ew. Oh, gosh. Let me see. Okay. I'm gonna try to be really careful with this. There's Evil Queen, Gal Gadot, the beautiful, talented Gal Gadot, who is obviously jealous of Rachel Zegler's looks. And there's the handsome prince. Look at that face. She's like, I'm gonna take him. She's like, you can have him. Let's see, what the hell? Okay. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on there. I know I was talking over a lot of it, but the unaffiliated X account Snow White 2025 appears to have leaked footage of the trailer early. And though the account missed the release date, thinking it would be November 18th, only trailers for the films dropped within 48 hours, the 48-hour period that may have caused Disney to rethink the timing. How to Train Your Dragon, for example, released on November 19th. Uh, yeah, there's some images, some videos I'm not going to play. But yeah, we already saw the part where instead of her breaking into the dwarves' home and it's like, "Hey, I'm going to be offed by a huntsman and my evil stepmother. Could you guys help me out here and save me?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And then she's like, "Well, in return, I'll clean and cook for you and whatever and help you out because you guys are out, busting your humps at the mines all day." In this one, she breaks into their house and is like, "Here's a broom, clean for me, you piece of crap." Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna break into your house and tell you what to do, and I'll sing while you do it. Yay. Cool. I'll sit here and watch you while I sing. What an ungrateful turd. Expectations are that Rachel Zegler's film may face significant headwinds with a strong dislike of the lead actress already baked into the cake. Rachel Zegler issued an apology on her Instagram account after she wished the majority of Americans would never know peace as a punishment for the election results. Questions have been strong about whether it was even Zegler that issued the apology. Probably not. I will say, I she was they told her to do it. They're like, "You're an insufferable wench. You are a gigantic twat that is sinking our movie at record-breaking speed. Like, we have pumped hundreds of millions of dollars into this surefire failure that shouldn't have been a surefire failure. And you're pulling it down to the bottom where you like to live." Before I continue on with this article, let's show this on X. It's a video from her. Here, speaking of her apology, boom. All right, it's from End Wokeness. Shared this, said Disney's Snow White. Rachel Zegler has a lot of talent. How do you make an apology this unsufferable? Does she have a lot of talent? I mean, she's an okay singer. Actress, she's okay. I don't know.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see. And
What? What? What are you comparing yourself to a priceless work of art? Is that what I'm getting out of this? Is for those that hate to see when I win, when do you win? You made one movie that made a modest amount of money, and that was the Hunger Games prequel film. You don't win. Okay, this is gonna bomb. Shazam 2 bombed. West Side Story bombed. Like, good God. And now you're in Romeo and Juliet on Broadway that nobody gives a crap about. Which apparently, according to your first message where you told the president-elect to go F himself, and then you told the rest of the country you hope that they never find peace if they didn't vote the way you wanted them to. Apparently, you took time out from your play, like in between acts, to write this whole insufferable crap out and then say, I'm needed back on stage. Shut the F up. Like, good God, grow up. It's because of, I mean, yeah, Disney itself is a horrible corporation that made some really stupid decisions, including hiring you for this movie. But man, you could have made it a little better. They could have at least broke even at some point, but no, you couldn't shut the F up and just be gracious. You're the most insufferable woman ever. Brie Larson has nothing on you. Everybody used to trash on Brie Larson. I think we owe her an apology after Rachel Zegler came along. Either way, more on this movie. Whatever is going on with the Snow White trailer, it's likely to release in the next days. Both Wicked and Moana 2 are aiming for the same demographic Snow White will want to capture, and they're both releasing in short order. The question is whether or not audiences will want to order Snow White onto their 2025 movie menu experiences anytime soon. Yeah, people like Moana. People don't have a problem with people in Moana. I mean, yeah, The Rock has his detractors and whatever, but nobody like strongly hates The Rock. And the rest of the people in the movie are fine. And Wicked, yeah, like I said, I want Wicked to fail. It's not going to. It's not going to bomb. It will have an audience. So women will flock to see that. It is what it is. So, but nobody's going to watch this. Everybody thinks she's insufferable. Everybody hates this twat. Like, I don't get it. Just anybody she could possibly piss off, she will do it. And she doesn't care. She's out loud and proud about pissing people off. Her co-stars, she takes digs at in the media. Like, chick, grow up. Like, seriously. I don't get it, but she has that entitled Hollywood attitude, and she hasn't even done anything in Hollywood yet to warrant an entitled Hollywood attitude. So, what the F? I don't know. This is going to be an abysmal failure, and I can't wait for it. Disney is going to lose mucho dinero, and couldn't happen to a nicer company. Something that is positive for Hollywood, though. Let's get into some of this. Not positive for Los Angeles or California, but the Hollywood movie business. From Variety, Louisiana Senate committee votes to keep film tax credit while lowering cap to $125 million. A committee of Louisiana Senate voted on Tuesday to retain the state's tax incentives for film production while reducing the cap on the program from $150 million to $125 million. Last week, the State House of Representatives voted to terminate the incentive effective June 30th, 2025, as part of a sweeping tax reform package. In response, sorry, it's jumping all over. Hundreds of people jammed the hallways of the state capitol in Baton Rouge on Sunday to protest the move, which would threaten thousands of film jobs. On Tuesday, the Senate Revenue and Fiscal Affairs Committee backed off, voting to keep the film credit in place while cutting the cap starting next year. Senate, blah, 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 blah. They're going to keep the tax incentives to rehabilitate the rehabilitation of historic buildings. Yeah, Louisiana is a very old state with a lot of very old. Quote, both of these credits, in my opinion, have shown that they are wise investments, Jenkins said. Yeah, I think it would be really stupid. I can't close these ads for some reason. It'd be really stupid to, good Lord, to cut that tax credit when it's bringing a lot of business to your state, a lot of people to your state, a lot of jobs to your state. I think this was the smart move. Hollywood, I talked about it in another video that I posted last week, I think. I'm getting my days mixed up. But Hollywood doesn't have to be in Los Angeles. California is, somebody argued with me the other day. Oh, California has one of the top economies in all of America. Yeah, well, they've been quickly chasing people in industry out of their state for the past 8 years or so. So if they keep it up, uh, if they keep it up, they're going to have nothing, and they're going to be one of the bottom economies. So I mean, whatever. The current program allows producers to redeem up to $180 million in credits per year if producers do not have enough tax liability. All the credits to the Department of Revenue at a 10% discount. The state issues no more than $150 million each year. Under the committee amendments, both caps will be lowered to $125 million. Film Louisiana, which has led the industry lobbying effort, indicated Tuesday that more work remains to be done. Today's committee actions are just part of the legislative process, said Jason Wagenspack. Wow, okay. President of the organization. While we wish everything could be resolved quickly, that's not how legislation happens. Yeah, don't I know it? We are confident our state is committed to keeping the film industry in Louisiana, and we're optimistic for a resolution by the end of the week. Yeah, it would be incredibly dumb to cut that entirely. I mean, I don't know if I agree with lowering the cap there of what you can get. I think that's going to chase some people out too. But it's better than what California is giving them. California is taxing them more, whereas Louisiana is giving them tax breaks. So Georgia, Louisiana, and I guess Illinois are like the top states right now for giving tax incentives to the film industry. So good for them. Bring in some new jobs, bring in some new people, and keep it on with chasing that industry right the hell out of California. All right. This one is funny. I'm really interested to learn more about this one. So I saw this story. I'm like, I have to add it to the lineup just because it's so ridiculous. David Spade and Theo Vaughn team on buddy comedy Bus Boys. Comedians David Spade and Theo Vaughn are set to produce and star in Bus Boys, a buddy comedy that they co-wrote and have self-financed, which enters production in Los Angeles at the top of the new year. Set in a border town in Arizona, the film follows David and Theo, two friends that think becoming waiters will solve their problems. They are wrong. Jonah Feingold, who directed At Midnight, is directing from Spade and Vaughn's script, with Robert Ogden Burnham joining the pair as producers. Stated Spade, quote, "We are looking forward to gracing everyone with this comedy that no one asked for." Hey, man, sometimes you don't know what you need until you get it. You know what I mean? Breaking out as a cast member and started blah, 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 blah. I don't really care. And then Theo Vaughn's on his Return of the Rat Arena tour. He's got his This Past Weekend podcast. He has 2 specials on Netflix between No Offense and Regular People, having most recently released the latter in 2021. Yeah. So Spade is repping UTA and blah, 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 blah. Don't give a crap about that. So not much info about it yet, but it looks fun. It sounds fun. Anything. Theo Vaughn in a movie. What the hell? I recently found out he was on Road Rules back in the day. That was crazy. I did not know that. And he was exactly the same back then. So, what you get is what you see is what you get. You know what I mean? Cool for him. I love me some Theo Vaughn. My wife thinks he's absolutely freaking hilarious and loves to she loves to watch all of it. Like, she'll watch his podcast quite a bit. She'll pull up some of his stand-up specials here and there. She's a fan. So am I, but yeah, good for Theo, man. Him and David Spade. David Spade's always good for a chuckle here and there, even if it's like a oh man kind of deal. Uh Give me just a second here. Pause for technical difficulties. I will be. Give me just a second. I got to check something for work. Ba 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 ba. And of course, the kitty gets up at the wrong time. Okay. Anyway. Sorry about that. Take that away. Sorry about that. Before we get into the next story about before we get into the next story about the box office for the holiday coming up, I do want to remind you all to check out social media. I am on everything you see right here on X, Gab, and Instagram. It's at Marks underscore on underscore media. Facebook, it's Marks on Media Tube. And True Social, Blue Sky, and Getter, I'm at Marks on Media. Unfortunately, I couldn't get I could not get a single username across all platforms. So you know that it is what it is. I am working with what I am given. All right. Anyway, getting into this next story here. Apologize for the delay. I'm dealing with some work stuff. Alrighty then. Bam. All right. Variety. Okay. From Variety, packed holiday box office speaks to misguided scheduling strategies. Oh, I guess, well, we can read the bullet points here, but most of 2024's remaining major films are gunning for the November and December holiday windows, yet the lead up to Thanksgiving is a ghost town, highlighting a missed opportunity to rethink scheduling. Mega budget Gladiator Dos would be better off holding till later in the year, cramming it in with Wicked and Moana 2. Yeah, I mean, it's all kind of releasing around the same time. So did Gladiator 2? When did Gladiator 2 officially come out? Or 2 release date. Up. November 22nd. Okay, so it doesn't come out till tomorrow. So, and Wicked release date the same time. Okay, so are they saying it's a bad thing they're releasing it all at the same time? I thought that would like drive more people to the theaters because honestly, a lot of the people that want to see Wicked do not want to see Gladiator 2 and vice versa. Um, Again, sorry about all that. But anyway, yeah, isn't that supposed to be the thought process behind it? You release it all around like right before the Thanksgiving weekend. Uh Most of the guys will go to see Gladiator 2 in theory. Most of the women in theory will go to see Wicked. I don't see what's wrong with that. And then you've got Moana 2, I think, is just going to annihilate all of them. So Disney's actually going to make some money at the box office this time around. Last time, their last Thanksgiving release, I think, was Wish, and then before that, it was Strange World, and both of them bombed. I liked Wish. I will not watch Strange World. It looks like crap. But either way, speaking of Gladiator 2, I wanted to share this because it's just, wow, it's been going viral. Gladiator 2 creator Ridley Scott rejects Denzel Washington's claim that his gay kiss scene was cut because production team got chicken, declares, no, that's BS. Hi, Kitty. See, Noah thinks it's BS too. Anyway, he agrees with Ridley Scott. As Oscar bells are beginning to ring around the actor's performance as Macrinus, whatever, in Gladiator 2, Denzel Washington has made headlines with his claim that he filmed a gay kiss scene in the film, but the higher-ups ultimately got chicken and left it on the cutting room floor. I will say that would piss me off if I were to film any kind of kiss scene, and then they were like, yeah, we're just going to cut it. You know, like this particular scene here, like, okay, so obviously it wasn't central to the plot of the film, so why did it have to happen? That's my thing. It's just dumb filler, whatever. But however, according to the film's director Ridley Scott, Washington's conclusion could not be farther from the truth. Washington revealed that behind the scenes factoid while speaking to LGBT plus centric news outlet Gaiety. What the frick is Gaiety? My God, as part of the Gladiator 2 press tour, asked by his host as to how gay is the Roman Empire. What kind of question is that? So we see that you're in Gladiator 2. It looks pretty good and all, but how gay is it? Oh my God. And he said, I actually kissed a man, but they cut it. I think they got chicken, he said. I kissed a guy full on the lips. I guess they weren't ready for that yet. Who's they? Hollywood? Because pretty sure that's been going on forever. Let's see. Is this going to actually take me to the... I don't think I'm sharing sound. Hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on a tick. Here we go. You got to hear this. Let's listen in to Denzel Washington.
I actually kissed a man in the film, but they took it. They cut it. I think they got chicken.
I loved the film. I wore rings.
Yeah, I don't care what she has to say. But yeah, so that's right out of his mouth. The lips that kissed a man. You heard it right there. My God. In Gladiator 2, Washington plays the aforementioned Macrinus, whatever, Macarena, a wealthy arms dealer who also owns the local Gladiator training grounds. But as the film delves into his past, it is discovered that not only was he once a slave himself, having earned his freedom through the arena, but that he also is bisexual, having previously shared relationships with men. Cool, I guess. Was that a big thing in the movie? Notably, Macrinus is the first openly gay / bisexual character Washington has ever played in a 4 decades long career. To this end, regardless of one's opinion of the overall subject matter, the inclusion of this supposed man-on-man kiss would have marked a defining moment in his career. However, according to both Denzel's co-stars and members of the film's production team, it was simply the nature of film editing rather than malice that resulted in these scenes' absence of the film cut. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of stupid. If you're going to film it, you're going to put it in the script. Obviously, it was a big part of his character. Why would they be like, oh, we're too chicken to have a man-on-man kiss? Like, we're not going to go full on, like, all the way. We're going to go, like, halfway. Like, it's half gay measures. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It's like wiping before you poop. But the first to speak up on was an anonymous Gladiator 2 production insider who allegedly told TMZ that the scene, as recapped by the site's writer, was not in the script and done during an improvised take, of which there were many for the scene. Okay. Likewise, on November 17th, Lucilla actor Connie Nielsen rebuffed the claim of homophobia, telling Variety during the recent Governor's Awards event, quote, "My grieving scene didn't make it into the film either. It is not homophobia. It is just that there was no room for it." Yeah, that sounds that sounds accurate. That sounds realistic and not stupid. Appearing alongside Nielsen, the film's producer Michael Pruss agreed, quote, "There was so much stuff that was shot that didn't make it into the film. It was truly a non-event." Yeah, if it wasn't needed, especially if it was done during an improv scene where he kissed a man. Why? Like, my God, his character's gay or bi or whatever, but he didn't kiss a man. So homophobia. I think it was just stupid. Like, if Denzel himself was insinuating that, kind of dumb on his part. Like, really. But I don't know. I still want to see the movie. It looks okay. My wife has zero interest in seeing it. But then again, like I said, that one's for the boys. Boys. In theory. I did want to bring up this, since we're talking about, I said Moana is going to just smash everything at the box office. Okay. This is not Moana 2. This is the live action Moana. This is from Daily Mail. Boom. First look at Dwayne "The Rock, the Final Boss" Johnson as Maui. Looks pretty good. The hair doesn't look bad. Kind of almost looks like his Hercules wig, sort of, kind of. I mean, it's longer, but I'm assuming that's like a bodysuit because he's huge, but that's like extra big. I like it. I dig it. Good stuff. That's what, the real Maui. Nobody, like, that's cartoonishly big because it is a cartoon, so nobody's going to be quite that big, but The Rock is looking good so far. There was a shot. There's him again. There was a shot they were showing Moana, but oh, there we go. You kind of see Moana there a little bit. It's blurry, so it's kind of hard to see. There's his hook. Looks pretty sweet. I'm actually, like I said, I'm not down on live action remakes as long as it like adds something to the story, which I think it can. I think the actress is going to be Moana is fine. I think she's just fine for the role. There you go. You see the cast. They all look good. I mean, he looks like the dad. She looks like the mom. I mean, they all look good. The grandma. There we go. Yeah. So so far, and there's the voice actress for Moana. See, they couldn't cast her because people would have got mad. She's too light-skinned. I'm assuming that's what it was, because, man, did they have a fit when they cast a lighter-skinned Polynesian to play Nani in the live-action Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, and then there's Moana 2, November 27th. So that comes out a week. The Glicked, if that's going to be a thing, has a whole week head start on Moana 2. Let's see what it does with it, boys. This one just popped up. I didn't, because I made the lineup last night. I just kind of snuck this in because not a lot to say about it, but I was excited. It's a new cast for Scream 7. To which my wife replied, "Can they stop making Scream films?" I said, "Sure, when they stop making money." Okay, there. Finally. Scream 7, Isabel May in talks to join Neve Campbell in the latest installment of horror franchise. Oh my gosh, all these freaking surrounding ads are just insufferable. Ghostface has a new target. Isabel May, best known for starring in Yellowstone prequels 1883 and 1923. She was also in the movie Run, Hide, Fight that was not made by the Daily Wire, and it has no political or religious slant to it whatsoever. But the movie was made. It's about a school event, I'll say, and Isabel May is a boss chick in it that knows how to take care of herself, but it's not like unrealistic, if you know what I mean. It's a good film, but it was made. Hollywood studios didn't want to pick it up, didn't want to distribute it, so Daily Wire picked it up, and it's on Daily Wire Plus. It is a very good movie. I saw it shortly after it came out. If anybody wants to check that out, that was her first role, if I remember correctly. But yes, 1883, she was in that. She was one of the Duttons. But anyway, has nabbed the plum role of Neve Campbell's daughter in Scream 7 and is in talks to star opposite the Scream Queen. The 7th installment of the horror franchise, being made by Spyglass Entertainment, is in rebuilding mode after losing its young stars Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera. Melissa Barrera was fired for certain comments on a certain war in the middle of the desert. And then Jenna Ortega supposedly quit in, depending on who you listen to, she either quit in solidarity or she quit because she was too busy filming Wednesday and just couldn't squeeze it into her busy schedule and whatnot. She was too busy making terrible Beetlejuice sequels. Campbell, who sat out the previous installment due to a salary dispute, they didn't want to pay, Sidney Prescott, the main character, they didn't want to pay her any decent amount of money, is back for the new feature, rather, that will focus on her characters, Sidney Prescott, and her daughter. Kevin Williamson, the creator of the franchise, who penned the script to Wes Craven-directed original, as well as Scream 2 and Scream 4, is directing. Guy Busick, who wrote the 2022's Scream and Scream 6, wrote the script. Ugh. Don't know if I like that one, but I don't know. It's interesting to think about. I like Isabel May. She's a great little actress. I mean, she's a little woman, skinny, but she's a good actress. I don't mean to demean her by saying it that way. She is a pretty good actress. I think she's realistic in action sequences, but at the same time, she I don't know. They're hopefully, if they go with their usual, they're not going to make it unrealistic where she's going, throwing fisticuffs with a grown ass man. You know what I mean? But I couldn't have given a crap less about Scream under Jenna Ortega and that Melissa Barrera. Not because of political reasons or anything. I'm tired of seeing Jenna Ortega in everything. I didn't care about Melissa Barrera whatsoever. So I don't know. This could restart the franchise in a good way, and they're sticking with Sidney Prescott's character as a main character, which I like. Oh my God, nothing is working. Nothing is working. But yeah, I mean, either way, I'm excited for one. I didn't really care, but now my excitement is reinvigorated in the Scream franchise. I shall watch Scream 7. This is something I will not watch, though. And I used to love this guy, but the last couple of things and that Letters to Santa, 'Cause who cares? Like, plays himself, like different variations of himself in different movies. It's Jack Black. Minecraft movie producer says Jack Black's Steve, inspired by the humor that we have seen in the community over the years, like through YouTube videos and all of their creations. Cool. Buckle up, viewers, and particularly the parents of said viewers. If one felt that the ironically detached humor of its first trailer completely missed the mark, they'll likely be disappointed to learn that, according to the film's producer, Torfi Franz Olifant, or Olafson. Okay. The writing for Steve's character in the live-action Minecraft movie will be directly inspired by, quote, the humor of the game's online community. Oh, joy. Whatever that means. Olafson, who is serving as producer via his role as Minecraft senior director of original content for Microsoft, spoke to the film's writing during a recent interview given to IGN's Alex Stedman following the release of Minecraft. Reflecting on the production team's approach to bringing the popular block building game, as originally developed by Marcus Notch Persons, The Silver Screen, Olafson began tackling the film's most controversial move, portraying the entirety of its events in live action. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're going to do the movie, you might as well go all the way. Am I right, fellas? Go all in, not just the tip. I mean, that was one of the things fans were saying in response to the trailer, recalled the producer. Why is it live action? Why isn't it animated? I think a lot of people were expecting that, and just the fact that there was live action and directly real life characters and physical sets didn't feel right with them, because in their imagination, they've been playing it for a long time, and they've kind of projected and seen a bunch of content, obviously, that has made both of us, the community, we've made a story mode. Yeah, my biggest question was just like, why is it being made? Well, I know why it's being made, because they want to sell more games. Like, this is a 2-hour commercial for a freaking block building video game. That's all it is. Quote, we made animated content before, and there's a lot of it out there, he added. But that was also one of the reasons why the filmmakers wanted to go with live action rather than animate it, rather than do something that has been done before. Gosh. Sorry, Rumble gave me an alert up in the upper corner. Anyway. Listen, Olafson then explained that the film would be very firmly in what we all refer to as vanilla Minecraft, like the unmodified Minecraft. One of the characters of the movie, the young character Henry, he enters the world, then is kind of the creator and maker of the real world, he said, and his character then represents the maker of the modder or the builder coming to the world, and as a result, we're going to see some really classic stuff, stuff that we want to see, some beast creepers, Endermen, and that kind of stuff. And then we're going to see some new stuff that Henry made. Cool, I guess. Blah, blah, blah. Going on about all the stuff from the video game that he's going to pull in. Here we go. It's like an empty page you write a story on, blah, blah, blah. But that was also an opportunity. So casting Jack Black as Steve, maybe you hadn't imagined Jack Black as Steve, but this is the Steve, which is Jack Black, if you know what I mean. No, I freaking don't. Because I'm Steve, and you're Steve, and Jared's Steve, and everybody has been Steve, and this one is Jack Black Steve. Okay. I still want to know why. I don't know. I keep answering my own question. Why is it being made? It's being made because it's being made because it's being made because they want to sell more games. They want to sell more products. I get it. So okay. It's like the Lego movie. I like the Lego movie. I thought there was a cool story to it. This one, I highly doubt it. It's just a long ass commercial to sell Minecraft. That is not good positioning for my microphone. I am sorry. There's no point. There's no point in like trying to think any deeper about it. It's like I had somebody explain it to me, like say before. They're like, the Lego movie is just a 2-hour toy commercial, which it is. This is a 2-hour video game commercial, which it is. You don't have to think much deeper about it than that. And I don't think it's going to be funny. The trailer looked really stupid. But then again, I'm not a Minecraft fan. I don't know if any Minecraft people will watch it or like that play the game will actually watch this movie and enjoy it and get the humor and whatever. I'm also not deep into some YouTube community for it. I really don't know. All right. Anyway, sorry, replying to some messages. All right. Getting into this is actually a pretty big story. Just broke yesterday, I think, but it's freaking everywhere now. Kind of sucks. But this is what happens when you have a show that goes for like 30 friggin' years, man. This show is like older than me. The voice of Milhouse retires from The Simpsons. Everything is not coming up Milhouse, it seems. Pamela Hayden, who has voiced iconic Simpsons characters, including Milhouse and Jimbo Jones, is retiring from the show after 35 years. Hayden will voice her last episode. Treehouse of Horror presents Simpsons Wicked This Way Comes on Sunday, November 24th. Oh, so it's going to be Wicked themed. In addition to Bart's best friend, Milhouse Van Houten, and bully Jimbo Jones. Oh, okay, I know who Jimbo is now. Over the years, Hayden has voiced secondary characters, including Ned Flanders' son Rod, Chief Wiggum's wife, and Ralph Wiggum's mother, Sarah and Lisa Simpson. Sarah and Lisa Simpson's friend, Janie Powell. I don't know that one. Simpsons, which launched on Fox on December 1989, shortly before I was born, will now start casting for her characters. Hayden said, quote, "This time has come for me to hang up my microphone, and how do I say goodbye to The Simpsons? Not easily. It's been an honor and a joy to have worked on such a funny, witty, and groundbreaking show, and to give voice to Milhouse and Jimbo Jones, Rod Flanders, Janie, Malibu Stacy, and many others." Milhouse, who first appeared in a Butterfingers commercial in 1989, was named after the former U.S. President Richard Milhouse Nixon. Of course. Quote, "Bart needed someone to talk to in school or in the school cafeteria. We named him Milhouse because that was the most unfortunate name a kid could have." The Simpsons creator Matt Groening said, "Pamela gave us tons of laughs with Milhouse, the hapless kid with the biggest nose in Springfield. She made Milhouse hilarious and real, and we will miss her." Executive producer Al Jean joked that Milhouse was a writer's room favorite because, quote, "Most of the writers are more like Milhouse than Bart." You don't say. Executive producer James L. Brooks added, quote, "She is a model for having a great spirit for every cast she has been a part of. We will miss her. I'll always have a special place in my heart for that blue-haired 10-year-old boy with glasses," Hayden continued. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. I don't care who produced the show. Yeah, so Milhouse is going to sound a lot different now. They've already recast a few characters from the show. Milhouse is just the latest, and I think the biggest character. Besides, I haven't really kept up with The Simpsons a lot in the last couple of years. Did they completely get rid of Apu, like, entirely, or did they recast him? I know they recast Lou and Carl. So I don't know. But either way, yeah. So yeah, it kind of sucks. like I said, it doesn't really affect me one way or another because, like I said, I haven't kept up with The Simpsons for forever. Every once in a while, I'll see clips online, whatever. But it still has an audience. Obviously, it's still going on. But I think the show is going to end when everybody just dies. Like they're just never going to end the show. But whatever. This one, I don't have too much to say about this one because I don't watch the show, but I want to start watching it soon, possibly. I've been keeping up with Yellowstone. Very excited that it's back. Angry at a few things that have happened so far in Yellowstone, but I won't give spoilers if nobody's been keeping up. Sylvester Stallone closing new deal for Tulsa King, paving way for seasons 3 and 4. More Tulsa King is on the way. Star and executive producer Sylvester Stallone is finalizing a new pact to continue on Taylor Sheridan's hit Paramount Plus drama series for the next 2 seasons. Deadline is learned. With him on board, Tulsa King is poised to get a 2-season renewal for season 3 and 4, sources say. No one would comment, but I heard Stallone is getting a raise from the $1.5 million per episode he was paid in season 2. Yikes. Which was up from $750,000 per episode for season 1. A 2-season pickup for Tulsa King would not be a surprise as it comes on the heels of a strong second season whose finale debuted Sunday. The season 2 opener set series highs with 2 million global views on premiere day, 5.4 million over the first 7 days. Though 35 days, season 2 averaged more than 10 million global households, outpacing season 1 by 8%. Yeah, so bottom line, it's a big success. Stallone's getting a raise again, as if he freaking needs it. He's making oodles of money. Good for him. I also want to see Landman is another Taylor Sheridan show. It's got Demi Moore and Billy Bob Thornton in it. Billy Bob Thornton, who in his personal life just looks like Beach Bum Santa or something. I don't even know. I don't even know how to describe his personal everyday outfit. But either way, yeah, Landman looks fun. A lot of big stuff is coming to Yellowstone. I heard this is the final season for Yellowstone, but they're going to start a new sequel series, spinoff, whatever. That's going to focus on Casey, Beth, and Rip. They're going to be the centers of the show. Last I heard, they're trying to get Matthew McConaughey, Michelle Pfeiffer. I think those are the only two. McConaughey and Pfeiffer, they're trying to get for the show, which would be awesome. I don't know if McConaughey is going to purchase the Yellowstone or what. I don't know what way they're going to go with that. But we're negotiating with him, Michelle Pfeiffer, recently. The other thing, the 1923 is set to come back for season 2. I don't know when. I haven't heard any updates on that. They're keeping everything pretty hush-hush. Let's get into this next thing about a show I'm excited for. I did another story similar to this a week ago. I think it was on my last stream. Excuse me. HBO says Harry Potter series will benefit from J.K. Rowling's involvement. She has the right to express her personal views. So not only are they coming out, most recently they said she is heavily involved, and all that, but now they're coming out and saying, and not only did they say she's heavily involved and it's not affecting our casting choices whatsoever, because they were like, oh, is it hard to get cast members because of comments that J.K. Rowling has said about the Troon community. And they said, no, it's not affecting whatsoever. People still want to be a part of it. Duh. And she is heavily involved. So they're not just saying that anymore. Now they're saying it's a good thing that she's involved. It's helping. But we'll let's get into some of that. Sorry, wife is texting me. When J.K. Rowling first went public in June 2020 about her beliefs that T women are men and T men are women, yeah, her beliefs. Anyway, many of the stars of Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts movies, including Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, and Eddie Redmayne, immediately spoke out in support of T and non-binary rights and identity. Two of the biggest Harry Potter fan communities, MuggleNet and The Leaky Cauldron, denounced Rowling's views and severed ties with the author's future projects. Yada, yada, yada. We know all this. I might have to cut the stream short here in about 15-ish minutes. Anyway, 4 years later, the landscape looks quite different. Under new leadership, Warner Bros. Discovery has aggressively expanded the reach of Rowling's Wizarding World, centered on HBO's impending revival of Rowling's book series as a long-form TV show led by showrunners Francesca Gardner and director Mark Malloy, or Millard, excuse me. Here they say that it haven't affected the casting or hiring writers or production staff for the show. And a spokesperson for the network said in a statement to Variety that its parent company has been working with J.K. Rowling in the Harry Potter business for over 20 years, and her contributions have been invaluable. We are proud to once again tell the story of Harry Potter, the heartwarming books that speak to power of friendship, resolve, and acceptance. The statement continued, J.K. Rowling has a right to express her personal views. We will remain focused on the development of the new series, which will only benefit from her involvement. So there you go. They are not worried whatsoever about the involvement. It's not even that they're not worried about the involvement of J.K. Rowling. They're championing her as invaluable to what they're doing. So and they're like, yes, she should be involved. It's her stuff. I mean, that's the right call. You don't have to agree with everything she says and her beliefs. Like, good God, man. I'm going to try to pound through these next two stories really quickly because I did not realize I have a hard out, but I do. Oh my gosh. This freaking website, man. Okay. What the? Nope. Stupid. All right. Sony reportedly working to acquire Katakawa Corporation. Deal would see PlayStation parent company take direct ownership of Elden Ring and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. In a move that, if actually happens, would be sure to spark questions and concerns among players across the globe. A new report has suggested that in service of expanding their entertainment offerings, PlayStation parent company Sony is currently in talks to acquire Japanese media conglomerate Katakawa Corporation. Word of Sony's apparent active interest in Katakawa Corporation was first reported in the early evening hours of November 19th. Tokyo Standard Time, courtesy of Reuters. And then, having supposedly learned of this development via two sources familiar with the matter, the pair further notes that, per sources, the talks between the two sides are ongoing, and if successful, a deal could be signed in the coming weeks. Yikes. And Katakawa would not comment. Sony declined to answer any questions. Let me know what you guys think about that one. I really don't have much of an opinion on it. I'm not super hot on Sony. I mean, it's a Japanese-based corporation. Yeah, I don't know. So I really don't know. I don't know. So Sony isn't the greatest with some of their properties. I'll say that. I don't really trust them too much. But I guess we'll have to wait and see again. I don't know. More of the bigger companies buying up the littler companies and doing what they want with them. There's one more story I had. I don't really have time for it, unfortunately. But basically, there's a new class action lawsuit accusing Hasbro of misleading investors by making materially false and misleading statements about inventory buildup and product demand. It basically revolves around Magic the Gathering and Power Rangers IP. But I'll have to get to that in a short video. Keep an eye out for that. But I appreciate you all being with me here today. If you could, please follow me here on social media on X, Gab, and Instagram. I'm at Marks_on_media. Facebook, it's Marks on Media Tube. And on True Social, Blue Sky, and Getter, it's at Marks on Media. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell and all that to stay up to date. Every time I post brand new stuff, Monday through Friday. On Rumble as well, I clone everything over onto there. So go to rumble.com/C/Marks on Media and rumble.com/C/main event Marks. Keep an eye out tomorrow. I've got part 2 of the podcast, dedication to my old co-host Greg. We talk wrestling, figure collecting, and all that. A big group of us. It's funny stuff, some funny stories. I think everybody will enjoy. We'll see you all next week. Later.